Look at the positive things that are happening. Yes, look at the Middle East. The Middle East, there's an opportunity that there's never been in the Middle East before for widespread peace as a result of Trump and Netanyahu doing what people in this country said they ought not do. And we can go down positive after positive after positive after positive. Donald Trump is the most successful president than any in American history that I can think of. The economy is humming even before these tax cuts have kicked in. And it's going to go great. It is. Donald Trump defied all the so-called common wisdom on these tariffs. Look what's happened as a result. He said, you realize prices are not going up, they're going down? Hey, don't ask me why. They just are. This is spectacular. The border is secure. Hello? The border is secure. Spectacular. The President of the United States, even though he's fighting these lower federal judges and so forth, he's trying to deport people, criminals and non-criminals. He's trying to move them out. There was talk about him wanting to give amnesty to farmers who hire illegal aliens and so forth. Well, apparently not. If he did, he's reversed course, so that's not going to happen. Okay, it's off the table. It's off the table. Look at the positive things that are happening. Yes, look at the Middle East. The Middle East, there's an opportunity that there's never been in the Middle East before for widespread peace as a result of Trump and Netanyahu doing what people in this country said they ought not do. Our recruiting. I came to you 6-8 months ago and I said, oh my God, we can't recruit enough volunteers for all the services except the Marines. What are we going to do? They're maxed out. There's more people who want to serve in the United States military in all the branches that they can't even take anymore. And we can go down positive after positive after positive after positive. MAGA's not splitting up. MAGA's not turning on Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the most successful president, certainly in a 6-month period, than any in American history that I can think of. We have opportunists, we have grifters, and people, I say, who need to draw attention to themselves. They need to draw, so they have very narrow lanes. They have niches. And they're not going to give them up. In fact, unfortunately, rather than say, maybe our model's not working. Maybe what we ought to do is sort of broaden our appeal. I don't mean to the left, so I mean broaden our appeal. In other words, not lose our marbles. But it doesn't seem to work that way. It doesn't seem to work that way. It's okay. My experience and my observation is over time, these people will burn out. Or their programs will begin to reduce. I've seen it. I've seen it. And why is that? I return to what I always return to, because the American people are smarter than these people give them credit for. You, the consumers of news and opinion, whatever you want to call it, you're smarter than they think you are. They get caught in their own little cloistered environment where they interview each other. Have you noticed this? They interview each other over and over again. Then they quote each other over and over again. Then they hand it to the same platforms that then quote them quoting each other. It gets old after a little while, doesn't it? I think it does. And what does this contribute to the defense of our republic? How do we advance the cause and our principles, our values, and our belief systems with this? We don't. We don't. So we've gone from we need competition against the old media to where rather than we need competition to the old media, we need our own little cliques, our own little cabals, our own little circles where we advance an agenda, a website, get our hits, our clicks, our eyes, all these other things, and that's the driving force. It's no good. It's why I do this show differently here and on radio and on television, and that's why you're here, and that's why the radio show is one of the most successful shows in the history of radio. That's why Westwood One asked me to sign up for another 5 years. AM radio is dead. Apparently not. I mean, I'm on AM, FM, and we've had to expand. We're on YouTube now, Spotify, all those platforms we're on. So they basically simulcast this into a podcast. the live streaming, we're on apps. I can't even keep track of all the platforms we're on. And people say, younger people, how did you do what you do? First of all, I'm not exactly sure. But secondly, I say, be yourself. Don't be a pretender. Don't be a pretender. And don't be a demagogue. It's what Rush told me. I already knew it, but he underscored it. Respect your audience. Because if you don't, over time, you're going to lose them because they have other things to do and they're not going to respect you. So I just point that out to you. The conspiracy theorists on radio, they don't last. They're not going to last on the internet. If something's real, it's not a conspiracy. So I'm just saying the kook stuff is not going to last. The kooks themselves are not going to last. To be anti-big government is not to be anti-all government. To be anti-big government is to be anti-unconstitutional government. But the Constitution sets up a government. So what we want is constitutional government. And we want government that is responsive to we the people, the sovereign. And that's what we want. But but people who try to hang their careers on I'm anti-big government, therefore I'm anti-all government. That's not correct. Anti-all government is chaos and anarchy. Anti-all government is anti-cop, anti-military, anti-border, anti-all these things. So the goal isn't to undermine belief in government. It's to confront unconstitutional government and big government, to challenge it, to fight it, and to replace it. Look, I push Convention of States. I'm just giving you an example. Why do I do that? Because I could have sat here and banged my fist over and over again, like some of these kooks, but they have no answers. I try to come up with answers. Sometimes I fail, but most of the times we get somewhere. So Convention of States, when Elon Musk talks about all the spending that's out of control, he's right. But we're right too. Congress can't fix it. Institutionally, Congress can't fix it. They can't get the votes to slash spending. They can't get the votes to put a cap on spending. They can't get the votes to limit the size of each budget to a percentage increase in the GDP. They can't get the votes. So we have a few guys out there who say, but we got to get the votes. But they can't get the votes. And the framers knew this, which is why they set up Article 5 Convention of States. There are millions and millions of people involved in this movement. We never got any help from Washington. We never got any help from billionaires. We never got any help from these podcasters. Zero. You've got Convention of States, Mark Meckler and his beautiful family. They've been working on it. We've been working on it, written about it. We've been promoting it and so forth. We've come a long way with virtually no attention outside of what we generate ourselves among ourselves. A long way. So in other words, there are things that can be done. But a lot of these people who wring their hands, magas, they've done nothing. For themselves, they've done a lot, or they're trying to do a lot, but they've done nothing for society. They've done nothing for the cause. One of the things I posted with Elon Musk is, why would you set up a third party? First of all, it's going to fail because a lot of states are set up to prevent it, whether we like it or not. Ask Robert Kennedy. It's just true. But we have a mechanism that's in place with millions of supporters. 24 states or so have already voted on resolutions. You want to limit government. Look at the Liberty Amendments, or look at what's been done already. It's significant, and it doesn't involve Congress. In fact, it doesn't involve Washington, because Washington's the problem. This is a side point. I'm just giving you an example. And so the Epstein files, or the lists. So what do we do now? You just keep tuning in the same people. It's a conspiracy. It's a cover-up. And Bondi's... Okay, now what? Nothing. They just want you angry as hell. It's okay to be angry as hell for a righteous cause. I should know. I get angry as hell for righteous causes all the time. But to get angry as hell because these people are self-serving and self-promoting. And they have no answers. All they have are theories and conspiracies. That's not right. That's not right. Again, if people want to say this wasn't handled right, I get that. You know, people are talking about lists and then there's no list. You create a problem. You create a problem. But you don't create a conspiracy unless people want a conspiracy. And I'm not going to participate in that. If there's a list, then there's a list. But apparently there's not. And I always thought that was weird in the first place. You've never heard me talk about this list, right? I'll tell you why. Where is this list? So somebody's keeping a list of everybody who's a pedophile or everybody who... who put this list together? Who said... Forget about people saying we have a list. Who created the list? I haven't seen any factual information that there was ever a list. But then again, I'm swimming against the current, aren't I?
For all this and much more, sign up for Levin TV.